applicants that are here. Actually, I'll give you a second to set up David, but first will be we'll flow. 5B 11701 Northeast 9th Avenue, Chaps Design. All right, just go up to the microphone, please. And we go in order of the agenda, by the way, just so that everyone's aware.
For the relocation.
Well, I guess, can you just explain what the revision is?
Yes, for the relocation for the kitchen outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said it's the kitchen design?
Yeah, kitchen design. Yeah, the kitchen is in the front on the windows to move in the next terrace on the next corner.
Okay, so is that any addition to the existing patio?
Yes.
The patio was there before or no?
No.
Okay, let me just go up to the original set. I mean, you did have a little covered patio there that went in front of the pool.
On the front, on the back, on the front.
And, I mean, besides the pool, is that? Let me just make
Because
sure.
it's the pergola.
So you're here for a pool or a barbecue, right?
For the barbecue,
For
yeah.
barbecue,
Barbecue, yes, of course, yeah. We relocated the barbecue because in the first one on the permit, you had the barbecue close to the windows. And now to relocate on the next corner, next side. The same. Exactly the same kitchen, just to relocate it. That's
Okay.
it.
So before it was an open patio that went out to the
Yes,
back of the house.
yes, yes,
Now
yes.
it's got like a
Opposite.
barbecue at the end.
In the opposite, yes.
But it's not increasing the lot coverage any,
No.
is it? Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
the setbacks are fine.
Yeah, the same.
You're not increasing your lot coverage. It's just moved.
Yeah, just move, yes. Relocate the plumbing, electrical, and the gas, that's it.
Minor revision, motion to approve.
Second.
Ed Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you, bye.
All right, next will be 6B 654 Northeast 118th Street, generator, Jessica Cohn. I have the.
Hi, good evening.
Oh, wait, no, thank you. All right, so the generator. It's in the rear, back,
Out of the property, yeah,
3 feet from the side.
and 15 feet from the back.
Okay. Kind of floating there in the back a little bit. Not near any openings. It's in the rear, so there's no visual. Setbacks are fine.
Motion to approve.
David Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next will be 6E 820 Northeast 111th Street, temporary construction fence, just like New Beginning LLC. So you're going around the entire perimeter. You have permits yet for, or plans for the new construction yet?
Yes, we have,
Oh, it is it? Okay. So this is the. Oh, we're discussing it. Okay, it's under 7A. Do you have the plans? Okay. Let's, since it's a discussion item and it's at the end of the agenda, we'll go ahead and we'll take care of this and then once we, we'll come back. Exactly. So I have a construction fence. It's on the property line. It looks like it's around the perimeter
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ed Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Or
Thank you.
David Scarlett, I'm sorry. Excuse me. All right, that motion is approved. 6K, 1075 Northeast 119th Street, concrete driveway, Gaharda? Gaharda, did I pronounce that?
Gadgetar.
Gadgetar, I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm really bad. 6K. It's concrete with turf.
Correct, yes.
Your lot coverage is 26.6 and 26.6, okay?
Second.
Just a straight in driveway, okay? That was Ed and David. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. You're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
6L, 1103 Northeast 117th Street, concrete driveway also, Aqua King LLC. Thank you. All right. Take a look at this. What's with all the handwritten permits? Is there a problem with this, the open cover or something? Okay. Got it. All right, so 26% total lot coverage, front yard is 16% and 16%? So is this is just an approach? I think it's the lady here, right? Yeah, you're Aqua King? Okay,
It's just because the driveway didn't go all the way to the street before. There was a little grass area in between.
so this is just an approach, just a
Correct.
concrete approach to your connecting the street to your thing. Okay,
Motion to approve. Second.
David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. You're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. All right, 6N, 11021 Northeast 9th Avenue, pool resurface, Parkinson. Yep, yep.
Yes, what's happening? I want-
Just give us 1 second, sir. Just let's pull it up.
Okay,
Okay, I'm sorry. Now, we just have a survey with a pool on it. There's,
all right,
Nope.
all right, just to resurface the pool. Originally, what I wanted to do is screen the whole pool in because of lizards. I'm talking iguanas all the way down to the small ones. They're
Okay.
crapping the pool all the time. So I spoke to a contractor and he said, before you can do that, you need to resurface the pool because it's old. So you do that first and then come back to get the screen.
Okay.
Screen. So that's why I'm doing the first leg of it first, which
all
is.
right,
the
so you're not,
structures.
the pool is existing. You're not doing anything. You're not changing the location.
No, sir.
nothing?
No, no.
Okay, you're just resurfacing it with, yeah, you would need another additional permit to do the screen. When you're ready
Absolutely.
to come back
Yes,
to
yes.
see us, but I mean, this is just
To approve.
David Scarlett. All in favor, say aye. Aye. So you're good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you much. Appreciate it.
60-11504 Northeast 11th Place, Windows installation, Gonzalez. Do you have any questions or anything, or you're clear on what you needed to do? Yeah, so so it's gonna, they'll let you know when it's ready. So the village will send you an email.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, give us a second. So these are all single hung windows except for 12 and 13 are casement,
Yes,
which are 12 and 13, which way they face.
They're
They're on the sides.
Yeah, those are the requirement for the egress windows.
Okay, but they're not on the front of the house?
No, on the side of
Okay.
the house.
Okay. What color?
It's gonna be bronze.
Bronze.
Where is which is the front?
So the front faces 11th place.
Where's the door?
I only
It's
brought
not
the,
drawn, but-
windows. I'm only doing the windows, I'm not doing the,
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not doing the doors at all
Trying to-
for now.
So these are really the front facade are all these single hungs?
Yep.
I mean, it is a corner lot, but it's so set back from the corner. I don't think there's a side front issue per se, in my opinion. I mean, and it's such a little tiny corner.
Well, and 12 and 13 are consistent, so that one side.
Very good point, David.
No proof. Second.
David, Ed and David, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're doing a nice job. I live nearby you, so the house looks very good. All right, so well, I think we've completed all the agenda items. We all just have, oh no, I'm sorry, I jumped over. One more to go. I'm sorry. 11935 Northeast Fifth Avenue, temporary construction fence. Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening. So essentially, when the property was purchased back in late 2022, the temporary construction fence was already existent. And recently, in the last month and a half, we did a very deep clean of the entire property, and it was noticed that on the north side, there's roughly 67 feet of fence that is missing.
Okay.
And at that time, I was cited for that missing piece, so I would like to apply essentially for the permit to complete the last missing 67 feet.
Well, really, it should be for all of it, because if I remember correctly, that fence was illegal. Because there was, you put up a temporary construction fence when you're having construction, and the previous owner was not constructing anything. So I think it was under violations, and I think you had to have some kind of settlement or something during settlement. So I would suggest that you get a temporary construction permit for the entire property, not just
Okay.
a section.
Okay.
All right. Now, the problem is that you have two different lots now. So which one are you applying for?
For the north lot.
For the north lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering about that because, there's no construction going on at the house. So what is the need for a temporary construction fence? So it's really has been in violation for a while now. I don't know what the code enforcement has done or what they're doing, but.
I was cited for not having a temporary construction fence.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm here to remedy
Yeah.
the
I'm just thinking that the
violation.
history is you get a temporary fence when you're under construction, not when the lot is sitting there empty. The fence technically should come down, the lot should be cleaned, made safe, and then wait until you're ready to construction. But I believe you have permits for the two houses now.
For the north, for the north.
for the north
Lands
house.
and, yeah.
Okay. All right, so. That being said, this is for the 11504. No, I'm sorry. 11935,
935.
sorry.
Yes.
Motion to approve. Just a question though, because the drawing is not showing a fence between the two lots, right? So is there a fence being added to subdivide separate lots?
So no, there's no fence being added to subdivide the lots. It's just to essentially enclose what's the north lot and the south lot and to avoid, any kids or anybody entering through the north side of the lot. I own the north and the south lot.
Yeah, but the thing is the south lot's not under construction. So when you do
Correct.
go to construct, you need to secure the lot that you're under construction.
Correct.
So there should be actually another fence going down the middle.
I have no problem doing that if that's what you
Yeah.
guys would like.
It's two separate things now.
Yeah, of course.
Motion to approve as amended to add fence between the two lots. fair portion.
You're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All
fine.
in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries as amended. All right, thank you, sir.
Question, and then I would resubmit the survey with markings on the middle.
They're going down the middle,
Got
yeah,
it. Excellent. Thank you.
you know. All right, so I do believe now we've covered all the new business and old business. Okay, so we're gonna go to discussion. First one is 7A 820 Northeast 111th Street. New construction, first preliminary view, just like new beginnings. All right. If you like, sir, we can come to this table right here.
So this is a new house, 828, Northeast 111th Street.
Okay,
It is not a corner lot, it's not an interior lot. This is the property here. The idea is to have one driveway, put the garage to the side so that the street front looks nice.
okay,
Septic tank and drain field over here.
okay.
Um,
What is these lines?
uh,
Line of
we're-
sights.
Yeah, line of sights. Visibility triangle. So you come in here, basically this is the house, little cabana out here in the back, swimming pool over here. Read your code and we put the second floor 100% 5 feet away from the side setback, so it's all along the 10-foot setback. We.
10 foot plus 5.
10 foot plus 5.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. So, pervious space,
56.
yeah, so it's almost half the,
So is it pervious? Because it's a little confusing. It's total lot coverage. So we have a 50% total lot coverage, whether, doesn't matter if it's pervious or not. It's any developed part of the property.
exactly. So the non-developed part of the property is 5,600.
Okay, all right.
Okay. The, lot coverage is way under. It's 11,500 square foot lot times 50%, 5,700, and we only had 33. Accessory building size, we're under in that. Driveway max is 40%. We're at 1,124. And the garage max is 500 and we're at 488.
Okay.
So this is just our site plan diagrams.
I mean, we don't really have a separate garage per se. It's part of the main structure, really. It would be if it was an accessory structure in the rear,
Oh,
there's a
gotcha,
size,
gotcha.
but because it's
It's
attached,
attached.
yeah, it's part of the main structure.
Okay, we didn't realize that. So basically you come in here, there's a grand staircase here, and this is sort of the tower element. This is a 1.5 story, great room area. Walk down here to the master bedroom, master closet, bathroom over here. You have a study here with a bathroom. This is a flex room. It's either dining or TV, whatever they want. We have our study, our butlery and our pantry here, and our laundry this way. This is a covered porch, and this is the gazebo that has its own cabana bath. And we're gonna have an open pergola attaching them, and the swimming pool is here, a couple of steps down.
Okay.
So this line is here, which is here. We set the whole building back, and we have 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms up here.
So the second story doesn't really start until
So
here.
the second floor is dotted here.
Okay.
Is that outline over there?
Okay.
So, let me take you to the renderings first. I think it's easier to see the house through the renderings. Yeah. So, I'm backwards here. Okay, so this is the entrance here. So this is the side of the garage. You'll come in here. The garage doors will be steel and glass, opaque glass. This is the overhang of the second floor here with this sort of mid-century modern corner window. This is the stair tower over here. This actually acts as the porch for the front door. So you see that going around there. This is a sort of a straight-on view of what you'll see from the street. Garage, the stair tower, the bedrooms and the entrance.
Okay.
This is the side of the house. Side of the house against the cabana
Okay.
over here. So what we did was we did this living room, great room area at about 16 feet, and we're gonna do a wraparound window around the whole thing with, steel lolly columns, so that's plenty of light goes in there and it looks really nice.
Okay. So that's 16, you said, okay.
16, we have sections where that I can show you. This is the other side. Nighttime, daytime, this is the bedroom side, so the bedroom will have corner sliding glass doors, no column. They'll open and pocket to each side, so it'll feel like an indoor, outdoor situation.
The bedroom's on the second story?
There, the master's on the master's on the first,
Oh,
and 4 kids' bedrooms are on the third. This is the view of the porch area.
What's the overall height of the house, the second story?
Um,
We'll go back to the elevations.
so the top of our parapet is 28 feet,
I'm sorry, 28?
28 feet,
Okay. So you're right at the maximum for the park.
just that,
Okay.
just that little part.
So it's base flood plus 1 and then 28, right? Or is it-
That's right.
Okay. Let me just, I'm sorry, just go back. a little bit. So this is the front. I don't think there was any issues. This is set 10 and then it's set back. Okay.
That's correct.
So this is the opposite. This is 1 story. This is not more than 18. You said that-
That's right.
Yes.
Okay,
16.
all right. We're good there.
This is looking at where you come into the garage. Corner of the office here, this is the master bedroom closet. And then this is the pergola and the little gazebo back there.
So it's set back 15, the second story? You said
Correct.
15, okay, so you're at your, the bump in and bump out doesn't affect you because you're already
No,
set back.
You
Yeah.
can have 30 on the line and then the rest had to be off.
Yeah.
So we just put it all off,
The,
which we thought would be nicer.
you know,
These back second floor ones, I think you explain them as pockets.
No, the pocket is this one down here.
Okay.
Just this one's pocket, just the master will pocket, will pocket this one the other way.
we just popped back to the second story floor plan. Window. So these are all bathrooms. Okay. So, my,
if you go back.
That's the corner, yeah, that's
These are the 2 corner bedrooms and these are 2 middle
the
bedrooms.
wraparound bedroom, yeah.
Right.
So my only thought would be on these, would be the use of the word diminish, the view into your neighbor's property.
So they're
That's-
set at the minimum for code.
Yeah.
Egress 36. And they're put at the standard height, which is 8 feet. These are these 2.
Yeah. But a question would be, do you need to have all those windows? Because the code says, you need to diminish the view into the side. So, these I could see because they're corners, you're not really per se, there's
mean
there's
instead
not,
of-
there's not so much view into your neighbors because there's most likely somebody right here with a pool. And these new bedrooms are gonna be looking right over the pool.
No, so we organized it that way. This house is looking that way and their pool is over here. We're gonna be looking at this side of this house.
Okay,
We're not gonna be looking into them.
yeah.
Now, I
But
don't know
it's
what's
still,
happening there.
we're getting, a lot, the code is written just to kind of curb a little bit the feeling of somebody's overlooking your property. So the question is, these would be my thing, was these 2 windows,
So
can
go
they-
from
they
triple
can-
to a double.
maybe a double or something so that
So-
it's not.
Or would you be happy if there was some sort of element from the first floor up that then made it so that there was more of a block to the.
So you're.
Maybe bring the parapet, exactly. Maybe bring the parapet from the first floor up a little bit so that when you're standing in the windows looking out, you're not looking down into the property. Maybe add, you're basically trying to diminish, the word is diminish the view into the neighbors.
Okay, so why have we made this a green garden?
Plants die, that's the only problem with that.
Okay. So, the
But if you parapeted
The
it
code requires you
higher-
to have 10% open space of your room size. So if you have a 100 square foot room, you need 10 square feet minimum.
But again, that, we're not asking you to diminish, with that, what he's suggesting is you could create what we're looking for by just adding, bringing that parapet up, so it's almost like a half wall. You know,
I mean,
so,
you could green space it, but since there's also a physical structure, if somebody kills.
Are you
all the
looking for the
plants-
angle down, so that the angle down isn't, because straight out, you would have to put the wall up.
no, it's just, it's,
And
it's,
defeats
it's,
your-
the way the code is written, and I can go over and quote it exactly, but it says diminish the view into the abutting
Okay.
property, diminish the view. So if you're looking at line of sight, standing here, well, how are you diminishing the view into your neighbor's property?
Say it's next to a corner lot, right? And that corner lot, their frontage is the opposite way, so it's the back of their. With no setback, right?
So it's a 10-foot.
You're really looking at the roof of this property,
Right,
because.
Oh, I know this now. This is the two-story next door to it that's, got the pool on the one side.
right.
So their pool is back in the back.
These bedrooms are here, but they're really.
Right, we
And
thought,
it will always be a back, because even if someone redevelop it, corner lot, their frontage is here, so. they're always
Exactly,
gonna
that's
push
what we
back.
thought.
It's a-
But then that would actually probably relate to this more, because this is the view of the pool, their pool is like here. But again, it's not a big window, you're not,
And he's already set back that extra. feet, right? It's
Yeah.
already in.
yeah, there's a big buffer, and we're gonna plant this.
so regardless of the placement of the house next door, it still says diminish the view, so
No,
I mean,
understand.
you know, so
We can personally-
know that there's not, you're not looking at your neighbor's pool.
Right,
We're taking it, because this is the one,
So that no, like, that house can get demolished one day, someone puts them, they're never gonna put their backyard next to that frontage, because they're on a corner that's so shallow, that they're always
Right.
gonna have to put it into
Right.
that
Hmm.
variance area in RDA, so.
Okay.
It's even for the
yeah.
perpetuity, it's never gonna create a backyard situation for that lot.
Our second floor balcony is in the middle of our property, so we're protected.
yeah. Now, let me ask you this, do we have an issue? Is this a wall? Is this a
Yes,
two-story wall?
that goes up, and we're actually gonna make.
So the
this
view
big.
really is only directly backwards.
This one is gonna be a green roof, that you really can't, you're not gonna ever
What is, I'm sorry, what is this dimension right there? Again,
35.
so that second story window is 35 feet from the back property line, okay? Right. I think this backs up to that two-story greenhouse, isn't it? You have a landscape survey?
I do not.
Okay, so that would be something we need to provide.
That terrace is here,
That's right.
and what wall is it?
I'm gonna show you. Yeah, so that laundry area all goes up, and it'll be,
Yeah, it's like railing height.
it'll be at
Yeah.
42 inches. So what we wanted was the glass railing to butt up against it, and then this will go up. But it's also 12 feet, and it's not up against the setback, so you'll never have a direct angle into the house. And the house that's on that side.
There's a brand
they-
new house
they
going
put
up.
A wall up against the property line.
Yeah, that's the new, one of the new constructions.
Right.
So we're gonna have two next to each other. Okay, no, that's fine. It's a nice house. Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you. This is the,
Yeah.
no, I don't have the survey for the trees. This is just the same, I didn't know,
Okay.
I didn't know how it worked here. By the way, I do this for Coral Gables, one of Porto Architects. and
Oh, you
Coral
are?
Gables.
Okay.
I
Well,
was gonna
I mean,
say
thanks for
that-
being, you're
Yeah.
so complete. You're making our,
Yes.
because that was our next thing is that normally we have 3 reviews and
Right, I
but
didn't
if it's,
understand that.
but if it's, huh?
I didn't understand that.
Well, it's just that sometimes we come in and people come in with concepts
Right,
and it's almost like we're working with them to get to the final
right,
position, you know?
right.
So we don't-
And
some-
we're not always all here for all of them, if we like
Gotcha,
for everybody
gotcha.
to get cracking.
Right. I mean, I can show
Yeah.
you my sections if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you nailed it with all the lot coverage, the heights. You obviously researched the code, so you know what, the codes allow.
You have different numbers, right, for pervious and lot coverage.
Yes,
Maybe
so-
just a matter of how you're interpreting the definition.
So here's, we have a lot coverage calculation here, which is this one right here.
Is that the building?
So it's just the building.
So you're not including driveway in this case, or your pool deck, or it's literally your.
But that's on this, that's that number, correct?
That's correct.
Well, but that's this is not correct because when we say maximum lot coverage, we're not referring to just the structure. We're talking about maximum everything developed on the
Everything don't
property.
have this, right? We just have this, but those numbers would be what would be for us lot coverage. 'cause lot
So you
coverage
want me,
is
so my lot coverage here would be all of
Anything
this.
improved.
Anything that-
Patios, walkways, anything that's,
Okay, so it would just be all of this.
pretty much, yes, there you go.
Yeah, so it's a
But the-
combination of these two.
But the only thing that's scary is that this is 5,775, so that's what you can get up to, and your current impervious is showing us 5,920. So those two numbers.
So I have to see how my office calculated if they did all that too.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, so basically, we can't have this number exceed that.
Right.
You need to trim down the deck, the patio somewhere.
Correct, yeah, there might be some things, driveways can move it smaller or something, if this, because if you, that P line that you just drew, looks like it's probably that number, right? But that number would exceed your percent.
Right.
So you gotta shave and cut and nip and tuck and whatever. Not a lot.
Okay, all right.
Okay. And this is a permanent trellis, correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
It's just to give them a little bit of shade. What we're gonna do is sort of a reverse trellis. We're gonna run the structural tubing on the top and we're gonna weld the trellis members to the bottom, so it looks a little bit modern and connect some vines on there.
Which technically then that means he doesn't need to count this as an accessory
It's-
building. because
yeah.
it's connected to the main.
It's technically part of the
Okay,
main
so we
structure.
do it when you connect it, but it doesn't get rained on. And then it
Yeah,
counts. If you get rained on, it doesn't count.
yeah, we do the trellis connection thing to the, but you're still, either way,
Yeah, we're-
however you want to
yeah,
handle it,
that'll-
it still works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was playing with the masses and the cubes to try to make them look nice
Mhm.
and give them some texture and different materials. Yeah,
So we'll,
yeah, those will help a lot. A little grease relays of these. Yeah, so this we're planning to do a finished material, which I guess we'll bring here to determine, and then those little fins, we're gonna do them like kumaru or some type of wood like that would look nice to give it, we don't want a modern box, we want it to be warm and feel residential as opposed to commercial.
okay. So like I said, we typically ask for 3 reviews, but sometimes if the plans are so presentable and we're all in agreement, we will move it to, on the second review, we can, if you come back the next
With my
time
CDs?
with your, well, no, no, don't do that. Not until you get our approval, please.
Okay,
But you would need the tree survey, to include it in your next set. So and then if you, take care of the lot coverage, I still have a little concern. I'd like to see something with that, maybe the view of those 2 bedrooms. Even though they are the side, I understand, but I think, something, you've done an amazing creative job on this. I think you could probably come up with something to,
I would honestly
to
think
mask
for
those a little bit.
their own Residents purposes, you might want to create something because they're looking at.
And they're looking back in too, yeah, so.
Skyline.
we do these sort of vertical louvers that come off of the building sometimes just to give it presence, so maybe something like that.
And that's the kind of thing that we're thinking about. Because this is a 2-story house, so now they're looking back towards this too. So they're kind of now looking towards each other. Okay, so this was a discussion item, so
So tree survey, lot coverage.
did we have
Yeah.
any other? Just something with those windows? All right, so what you'll do is when you're ready, you'll ask them to put you back on the agenda for discussion item. And then you'll come back and we'll do this again, and hopefully if everything looks good, we can move it to,
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
okay. All right, next will be 7C, 960 Northeast 118th Street, Pergola Carport, Levinsky. Good evening, sir.
Okay, about, I don't know, mid-July, I left a phone call. I left a message because I don't have questions. I I haven't even begun to think of how I'm going to do this. It was just questions regarding the driveway and adding a pergola or maybe a carport. What was it within the code? Because I couldn't find anything online or any to answer the questions of what it was, what the options that I had available.
I mean,
I
we have an
prob-
entire thing that says carport in the code.
Yeah, but this is a pergola.
Well,
But it's going in the,
is a car going underneath it?
Yeah,
And it's in the front, it's a carport.
okay,
It falls underneath the carport rules.
right. Well, that's why I had these questions. I thought somebody was just going to call me back, but they told me when I went over there after 2 weeks, whatever, I didn't hear from anybody. I went to, and I said, hey, can somebody answer these questions? And here I am. But I'm,
like, are you able to find the carport section to get all the information?
no, I couldn't find that. Yeah. It's
like,
it's
we
hard to
can-
navigate because sometimes Miami-Dade or you guys, there seems to be an overlap between the code.
Yeah, I mean, Muni code.
Biscayne Park.
Yeah.
But we can, if you have something in your
I
hand that you'd
brought
like to
what
review with
the
us.
existing the driveway that we did, to code, and then where this thing's probably gonna sit supposedly.
Okay, so, okay, so my thoughts were, okay, so this looks like it's like a kit or something, maybe?
Right.
Okay, so it's not, so what we're concerned about is the size. So you're allowed to have a 20-foot by 20-foot max aluminum, the code says aluminum and canvas carport. So it needs to be aluminum, all right? So, it has to be a maximum of 20 by 20. You have a maximum, you have a 5-foot setback from the side and then you have a 5 feet from the front. All right, so what you want to do is fine. Now, this looks like it's 107 and 107. So yeah, so it's definitely under, it's under 20, yes. So you're good. Now the thing that's gonna come up would be is the building department is gonna want to know that if this thing is gonna be survive hurricane standards. So as far as zoning goes, this looks like it would be approved by us because you're underneath your. You'd have to have your NOAs and, that would be the building department, the building official would be looking at it. But if you were to present this to us because you're doing 18 by whatever it is, nine by 18. Yeah, you're under your, 20 by 20 maximum coverage. You got your 10-foot setbacks, you have a 47-foot front setback. So you have plenty of space in the front. So if you were to submit this as an application and put some dimensions on this, you would probably get approval by the board. I have to obviously let the other board members speak to it. But it looks like it's aluminum.
Right, those louvers.
Okay,
The idea is definitely.
yeah,
An entrance.
yeah. So it's in the front of the house, so it's a carport. Okay.
Yeah, only thing I would add is if he has 47 feet on the front setback, you could even, if you wanted to, consider some sort of actual like garage structure addition for that, up to that 17 feet to get him to 30 feet if you wanted to. Whereas most houses are, okay.
But don't think the front setback is 40. Maybe you're.
Well, I'm just saying, it says 47 here. Is that from the street?
You're measuring from the street.
So I don't know what your swale is. So yeah, let me just retract what I'm saying, because I'm looking at a sketch really. But you have a 5-foot from your property line in on the front? Okay, you have a 5-foot, it's the code says 5 feet and 5 feet for a carport. Okay. So if you're 12 feet, then you're way in. So
that's, if I buy that now, right?
no. Wood is not an, yes. But I would, recommend getting the permit first and not buy it first. Because you have to make sure, the building official has to look at that and look at your footings and your calculations, and they're gonna want to make sure that thing doesn't blow away in a hurricane. Yeah, so, but as far as zoning goes, that meets the requirements for a carport. Sure. I don't know I actually don't even know what the
Get in
fees
the.
are. So just for a discussion item, it's $50?
where you wanna put it, right? So your property, like your house?
Yeah, right. This is.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, eventually you'd have to get a survey to know where your property line is exactly, because then you have to be 5 feet from the property line. So you're not 5 feet from the street out here, you're way, just wanna make sure you're gonna put it 5 feet back from your. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and I do think your toughest hurdle will be the building department, right? If they're gonna want.
I would maybe call the manager and speak to them because to me, I'm not aware of the code, the fees. But it's just for a resident to come in and ask a question, it seems a little excessive to me personally. So it's not like you're applying for it. Now, if you were applying, if you're applying for it, then you would obviously you'd have to pay the $50. So maybe they give you a credit towards it when you apply for it. Yeah, so, but maybe speak to the manager about it so they can do something for you. Thank you, sir. Okay. All right, next will be 7D 11121 Northeast 9th Court, new construction, first preliminary review, Beltran. All right.
Has been building some properties in the city of Miami, Miami-Dade County unincorporated cities. And we are new here. We are purchasing a property, that address here. We are closing next week on it. And the main idea was to build one of the project that we have been building in other cities. So just wanted to make sure because we have some questions about it. For example, if there is a right of way dedication, because we don't know where to find that information online.
Is there a survey? I mean, the survey would show that.
But at the right of way dedication.
Yeah, the
because
survey would tell you what the right of way.
The
Are
right
you
of
talking
way,
about the front right of way, like the swale? Or are you talking about like,
No. Because well, on other projects, when-
you have is this just a generic? Or is this the actual property?
yeah, but
That's a diagram that's from our.
yeah, what I mean is on another project, when we submit the plans, we figured out that we had to give 10 foot of right of way to the county because that street was too small. So just in case they wanted to make it wider in the future. So,
Dedication would be on your survey, so you.
But, no, no. Okay, but I know actually they don't know that. So because that
I mean, that's the job to know that, right? The surveyor can look up whether there's a dedication for
But
Yale, for the city, for the railroad.
But the
they
thing is,
check
is
on
we-
they check on easement, but
But-
not right of
But
way.
inside of your property, I don't think we have any right of ways where.
Yeah, sorry, I mean easements is what I'm talking
Easement,
about.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, no,
If
right of way
You
dedication.
don't have any other special.
Okay,
If there's no
okay.
easements on your survey, then.
No, there is easement in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So it's separate from the.
there was
But
a
you do
big
have
issue.
But you do have a front right of way, which is the city property between
Yeah.
your property and the street.
Yeah.
And in the swale, sometimes they're 5 feet, sometimes they're 20. So it all depends on what it is, but that's not your property. And, you know, so, yeah.
But
so-
nothing gonna affect our property. Okay,
No.
perfect.
Right, like. make
Okay.
it smaller.
But I don't know if this belongs to the historic district, archaeological area or something.
We don't have any, we don't have a historic designation in this case.
Okay, perfect. So, some people. We heard something about the maximum, lot coverage is 50%. What is included on that 50%? Is it the pools,
Yes,
guest
everything.
house?
Everything but grass. and
Driveway.
trees
Yes.
And landscape.
Everything that's
everything.
developed is considered lot coverage.
touch it, then it counts.
So if you put a gravel walkway on the back of your house, that's considered part of your developed property.
Developer, okay, understood.
know what the total lot size is?
Yes, it's 10,500 square feet.
It's 5,200.
Okay, including everything,
Yeah,
everything we touch.
show up with a 5,000 square foot house, we're gonna be like, no.
Okay, okay, grass all around. Okay, perfect. What else? Well, more or less, this is the design that we are doing right now. Let me show you some other pictures here. So our property is around 4 to 5,000 square footage and 2 stories.
Okay.
So, the design of modern design. This is one, not the best that we have built, but it's kind of the looking, the front, the back. So,
footprint is 4 to 5,000?
Okay.
no,
So-
the total square footage between
Oh.
both stories.
So the issues are these. So you have a 10-foot side, 10-foot here, 10-foot here on the first floor.
Okay,
First floor, 10-foot, 10-foot, 10-foot. Then on the second floor, you have a 10-foot, you can be at the 10-foot for 30 feet. Total.
total,
And then anything above 30 feet has to set back 5 more feet.
5 more feet.
So if you wanted to build this exact
Lengthwise.
thing, you had to
Lengthwise.
be in 15.
So like you could go 30 feet and then you have to set it back 5 feet and go the rest of it. Or you could go 15 feet, 30 setback. Total 30 feet on the side setback on the second story.
Second story.
Or you can get around that if you can make that building work with 15 feet on
15
that.
Or,
feet on
or
that
set
side.
this all the
Yeah,
way
if you
across.
just wanna shift the whole thing
Uh,
over and be 15
okay.
on one side.
That's what the
their
previous
house
person
just
did.
did.
They came in and they automatically pushed everything back to 15 feet.
Yeah, we have built building on the wider slot was 60 feet, so I think that's not gonna be a problem because we comply with the setbacks with 60 feet. This one has 75.
Okay.
So I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
So the second thing is that, the code says that, this has to be designed in a way that has articulation and movement to avoid long blank walls. Okay? So this being a long blank wall at 2 stories we would be like, okay, you gotta break this up. You gotta add
Some
some
kind of movement on this side, on
Yes.
this wall, okay,
on the second story.
on the second story.
On the second story.
Okay,
Third would be, the view in the rear part of the property here is, obscuring the view into your neighbor's yard. So like having a huge picture window here would not be really looked upon nice, would be like, okay,
Okay.
you need to break this up a little bit
On the second,
on the
on
second.
the second
and I'm
floor,
only
but
referring to
that's
second floor.
on the size, only on the size.
on the sides.
Yeah, on the
Okay,
side, yeah.
Okay, okay, what about rooftop? Are the rooftop
But-
allowed?
But it is on the side, right? It's not the rear back patio. The view into the neighbor's property.
It's on the rear 2/3.
2/3.
We just talked about the sides.
Okay. Because they could conceivably put this up to 10 feet.
Well,
Have a
No,
balcony.
no,
or-
this is the backyard, yeah.
I'm just-
We got a pool,
Yeah. I'm just saying, the view, you could conceivably go up to 10 feet and have a second story looking down into your rear, the neighbor behind you, and they would have the same issue.
Okay,
But second story, rear setback is 20.
it's 20 feet on the back, right?
On the
Yeah.
second story.
The second story.
That patio.
Okay, okay, understood. So what about rooftop? Are rooftop allowed? Yeah?
What do you mean?
What-
That roof terrace.
You can have a
Roof
roof
terrace.
terrace, but you can't have a roof on, it can't be a third story.
Not a third story.
You can have a roof terrace, you're
Yeah,
talking
right.
about a third story roof terrace. Okay, you can have it, but again, the same thing that says, you cannot, it has to be obscured, so you're not looking down into your neighbor's yard. So you could have a roof terrace like here in the middle, but if you put it over here and your neighbor's pool is right here, that's gonna have an issue with view.
Like if you put it on top of the one floor, this part here,
Like,
then it's a lot.
then it's
less
on
of
the
a
second,
problem.
then it's on the second story, yeah.
But if you try and stack it on top, because you also have an absolute building height as well, you need to have railings around that whole part.
It's 28 feet.
28 feet.
28, yeah. We are within the 28 feet right now, but we are
And
into
what
this
about
part.
The single family or the single story side, how high is that?
Is, right now is around 18. It's-
That's the max, one
Yeah,
story is 18. Okay.
18.
So it's
And I-
18, 28,
Yeah, I think we are in 18 and 26 right
Okay.
now.
and then the roof can't have any roofs or anything like that, it's just, because that would become a third story, and we're only a 2-story allowed.
What about an exit? Only an exit to an entrance from the second floor to the terrace.
But the problem
That's
is that top of that exit would have to be capped at 28.
To 28.
So that's
Okay.
gonna start pushing down on your second floor. And so
Okay.
if you do a terrace on the upper story, it's gonna get challenging. It's gonna push the height of the building.
And it's gonna start dictating the rest.
Because on the other city, those are allowed only an exit, not an actual building, just a
No part of the building can be higher than 28.
28.
So if you have some little stair enclosure tower, that's gonna be a 28 feet max, it's gonna push down.
Okay. Understood. Perfect.
And then I would start questioning whether or not that would become a story or not, because there's gonna be a landing and there's gonna be a roof on it.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
Kind of hard, that's why we don't see many on the.
There's
second
not many
floor.
third-story decks, you know.
Okay, that's it. The best
I
would
mean,
be
you have all this
we
space, you have all
agree on
this
one.
space here, put a deck on top of the first floor, you know.
Okay, okay, perfect. So one more question. This is a duplex zone or area.
Yes.
If we decide that just in case to do two townhouses, is that allowed? Like two townhouses?
So you could do two design townhouses, but they would never be able to be sold separately.
No, never.
Never.
We cannot get a two folios as sell.
No, No, because it's only one folio. And then if you wanted to do that, you'd have to separate the lots and then you'd have to meet all the lot coverage, setbacks, you know, you would fall out of your minimum lot. So
it
you
only
could,
stays
you
as a
could,
duplex.
you could build another duplex, but it would always have to stay a duplex.
Okay.
You know, we don't do
Yeah,
townhouses.
because we have done that on other, on Miami-Dade County, for example, or city of Miami. And we do not separate the lots. We sell it with a condo bylaws, and we sold them as condominiums.
Mhm.
This is the unit A with this folio from the total,
We don't have that here.
you have.
Another thing that I would say is, so you could do this, but if, for instance, you buy another lot in Biscayne Park, you can say, hey, guys, I wanna put this on that lot, then we're gonna basically shut it down. Because one of the big things that we do is we want each house to look unique and be different.
Different, yeah.
You can't, we don't want somebody walking their dog and be like, I saw that house on the last
Okay.
lot.
Understood. Okay, we got 4 designs right now, so we're working on new ones. Just trying to make it better.
No, I just don't want you to all of a sudden own 8 lots and then try to put in the same house on 8 of them,
Okay.
because that's gonna be.
Okay,
kind of
okay.
Yeah.
What?
As far,
What's the process? So once we got the lot,
so first of all, this is not first review because they don't even own the lot yet. So it's actually just a discussion item. So it's not considered first construction review because
okay.
it's not. So once you buy the lot, then you can submit your drawings just like this. But you
Okay.
know, obviously, put it with the lot that you're
Okay.
buying. And then
We don't need mechanical, electrical, plumbing.
none of that. Don't do any of that yet.
Architectural.
Set, make sure it has the site plan, the zoning data, right, the lot coverage, all that set inside.
Okay.
But otherwise, what you have is some floor plans, some elevations, some 3D drawings, and a site plan with zoning data.
Okay. And that would be the first plan review.
Yes, and then we do 3 reviews.
Is it recommended that our architect to come to present?
like?
Yeah, yes.
I would say probably definitely on the first one, because that's where we would have the biggest, we would have the most stuff to say, hey, these are what all of your issues are, and then after that, usually it's just fine.
But it's, I mean, looking at it from the front, people are doing these houses now. So I don't think we have an issue so much with the architecture of it. It would just be those items that we brought up of the setbacks and such. So, okay.
Okay,
All right.
I think that's it. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, good luck.
Nice to meet
Thank you.
This has been a.
Hey.
You want to go back?
All right, so don't sit down. We're gonna probably gonna go right back up. Okay, all right, so we're gonna do 7E right now, 12010 Northeast 11th Place, new construction, first preliminary review. We're gonna go up there again.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Thank you. Hello.
How are you? We skipped this one, but maybe because you already saw that we had the permits, the
I-
C says you didn't mention.
Oh, you
skip
know
that
what?
maybe
I'll come
because-
back to it.
Ah.
I probably just looked at this and didn't look at that when I
Ah,
checked you in.
okay.
So we'll come back to that.
Okay. How are you?
And we didn't pull up together today.
No,
How are you?
You're good.
That means, that means we're gonna get an approval today.
First review,
First review,
okay.
introduce yourself.
And it's interesting because the gentleman that was here two presentations ago,
Yeah.
they're right, the next door to the house that you're doing over on, 107th or 8th, whatever it is.
Oh, really?
They're the ones between you and that.
Okay,
So.
you guys gotta give those guys a hard time. Hard time. That's what I like, that's what I like to hear.
All right, so we got a new project.
So introduce yourself always at every board, name,
My name is Stephanie.
Hi,
as you
Stephanie.
know.
address, office address. You don't know where you work? It's over here,
Nice to meet you. Yes, nice to meet you guys too.
Okay,
12360 Southwest, 132nd Court, Suite
216.
94-331.
thank you.
86.
All right, so this is new construction?
Yes.
I'm Angel, and that's Gerardo. He's one of the owners.
Okay,
Good to see you guys again. So.
so owner, architect.
Yes. that's
Okay,
correct.
all right.
Yes. So why don't you run them through our setbacks, the square footage, and everything else we have here, that everything complies with everything.
So this is a 11th place, okay, 11th place. Okay, so it's an existing house that's coming down?
Completely, yes.
Okay,
We went ahead and we highlighted the, all of the square footage of what the house, all of the impervious surfaces, and we're within the 50% lot coverage, we're at 49.03%.
okay,
So we're within the lot coverage, as well as all of these setbacks.
okay. All right,
And on sides, we're in excess of 10 at the back and 20 in the front.
Is there a second floor?
There is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Just
just wanted to show you the site plan. This is the first floor.
basically open plan.
Yes.
all right.
Less is more. Anybody hear that before?
I say, how you supporting that?
Oh, magic.
I
We're not there yet.
said, where are the columns at?
We're not there yet.
I don't see any columns.
Yeah, no, we're not there yet.
Okay,
This is
all
the
right, so
second floor.
here's the juicy stuff. All right, so what are we at over here? Is this right on top of the first?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay,
So we're at 10 here, and this is less than 30. We're at 15 here. Less than 30, 15, less than 30, 15.
okay, but you know it's 30 total, not 30, not 30 blank 30, it's 30 total. At the side setback on the second story.
So like you could have this, and then this needs to be at that line, you could have this, and then less. Yeah, it's not 30 contiguous feet at top, and then 30 contiguous, 30 max.
30 max once or twice max? Two times.
Once on each side.
Once they-
So if one of these is 30,
That's it, everything else is 75.
you mean all of this has to come back now?
Yes,
The maximum of 30 linear feet. Parse any way you like it, 5 feet, 15, whatever it takes, but everything else.
The first house that we reviewed here 2 houses ago,
Mhm.
they were flat against it, but they had the whole house set at 15. So that's the other option that you could do is if you want instead for it to be one solid line, you bring it in from, so instead of 10-foot setback, it's 15-foot setback for the whole structure. But then you're also gonna lose that 5 feet on the first.
well, I mean, you could set it on top of the second floor, yeah.
Yeah, we could still keep the ground floor, but we'd have to set this part.
Yes.
So
Change a lot.
That changes everything.
Everything.
I mean, you have a very generous master bedroom here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
No,
but,
we have the width, I think,
This apply only in this property or in HQH too?
the one that we.
might have been approved before.
That's,
so that's,
When?
so our code changed last August. The new code for
We-
building went in.
we slipped through the skin of my whiskers.
Yeah.
On that
Oh.
second house.
Okay.
And that's where I got this from, because I thought that was a solution we had over there, we could apply it here, and now obviously.
Yeah.
The revision that was trying to increase it? Yes. Yeah, okay. I'm that guy.
Yeah, you were,
you have a handful of projects. Don't hold it against me.
It was because attorney got lucky that you were already 14 feet back and all that.
By 1 foot only. The other issue you have is, well, that drawing looks different than what's here. We allow flat roofs, but they can't just be flat. Right? You have to have different heights. What I've seen in Dropbox.
They have
I think
one
it's
little,
flat.
right there, yeah.
Yeah, this whole side of the house is
I
at
guess
a,
that
at a,
Change, what's in here is just flat, flat, flat.
Yeah, you know, designs never end.
yeah.
So
So-
yeah, we've changed that
Yeah.
now. Margin, yeah.
Some,
What's the overall height? to the
so
top?
27.6. Okay. Remember that's from base flood plus one.
I can't wait for you to get to the 3D because that's really the exciting part. Other stuff just looks flat.
I mean, you did take care of, the windows are, there's maybe a little concern on some of these about, but we're gonna let you see how you come back to us
Right.
about them, diminishing the view to the neighbor's property. Doesn't seem like there's really an issue on this one, except for the fact that over here, you're, oh wow, you just did like some scoops here, okay. There's.
5 foot extra, we had to cut out.
Um,
You can't blame me
You
for
know,
being creative. I mean,
it does say
I
that,
did get you 15-foot setback, right?
this, the design must be, in a way that, it avoids massive blank walls.
Right.
There's supposed to be use of undulation and, it is a little boxy.
Like, for instance, maybe you back here, when you get back to this, you step it back down to that same height, so maybe this is like your peak mass or whatever, but so that way, from the street and everything, there's some movement happening.
And I would kind of be questioning the use of a parapet to create your roof level change. I mean, it's kind of a,
Yeah.
it's not really within the intent of the code. It's just we need to make a foot, so we're gonna do a foot. I mean, really, come on, let's look at it. Changing the height of something
No,
to go.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think I actually do have structures different
Okay.
because we have a higher master suite area than.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this line right here.
Yeah.
It just kind of continues around, and the only thing that different is the parapet's higher here.
Correct.
The parapet is lower there.
I'll look into that.
Yeah,
I got a few other things that I
yeah.
you guys just.
So the wall, just to reiterate, the one side of the house can be completely flat, but it has to be 15 feet setback.
No, it cannot be, no.
No
It-
matter
it-
what, you always have to have the 30 and then 5 feet.
So it's two different parts of the code. One is that there is this maximum of 30 linear feet of building
Mhm.
at the minimum 10-foot setback on the second. That's one aspect. The other aspect is the code has sort of general language about wanting to see some sort of dynamism or
Mhm.
undulations. I don't know exactly what the language says, but that we don't want just simple blank wall. So if you push it back to 15 feet, you're gonna solve one part of the code, but then the other part of the code that doesn't wanna see a flat wall.
You're still gonna have a flat wall.
What about if we put windows or glass? They consider wall?
It's the way the language, it's more that they want changes in plane.
I mean, I can,
So,
The other,
usually-
your other issue is
Dimensional
if the whole, yeah, and if the other problem is if you make the whole back half of the house, you can't really make it glass on the second floor, because then
then you have-
we have issues of you looking down into neighbors' backyards and everything like that, which is, that's kind of always been.
Yeah, but so another part of the code though says that on the second floor, any openings, windows, you have to design it in such a manner that you diminish the view into your neighbor's property. So if it was all glass, it would, yeah. So
it just says,
it's all these things that-
wall planes shall be designed in such a manner as to provide movement and articulation to prevent excessive blank walls.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
So-
it says
so-
all portions of the side of the building on the second floor within the rear 2/3 depth of the buildable area shall be designed in such a manner as to diminish visibility into your abutting properties. So we don't want windows.
Well, basically, so the other is privacy. We eliminate peeping toms, nobody watching, somebody bathing.
I mean, trust me, if you went to all the board meetings, yeah, it's a big concern for people who are having big houses built next to them, so.
Okay. All right, well, I guess.
I mean, just as far as other checklists for at the end too, is at some point we need to see landscaping survey as well, before final approval.
Yeah, we'll have that. We'll have that.
Is this an actual application or is it just a discussion item?
I believe it's an application.
So there is an application in for this?
Yes. This is supposed to be the first viewing.
Okay.
They already submitted the permit, this was their first.
Okay, so it is the actual first. Okay, so you got two more after this?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I won't be complaining about the $50. I was about to yell out, hey, that's pretty inexpensive for 5 professional, consults here.
He discounted all of it.
I was gonna, but I didn't know how you guys would react to someone jumping out in the audience and yelling at me. Besides,
We want to encourage people to come in and ask us questions, and if it's, some small, just wanting to do something like that.
I thought it was pretty humorous, but
Yeah.
it worked.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
Yeah, I actually have another
Sure.
question on another piece of property, that we're looking at, that is, it is really, narrow. Gosh, where is it? See if you can find
Emails.
it,
Emails.
see if you can find it, on what she sent us. We have I'm gonna find it for you, but maybe you can find it, Steph. We have a property list like this. And these are 2 streets.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to figure out, okay, so where's the front? Can that be the front?
Well, what's the address?
Okay, here, that's what we need to do.
That would be the first question would be,
That's it, right here.
but
yes.
is there an empty lot? Is it empty lot?
No, here's the house. The address is.
So they keep the old original entrance?
903 through 905, Northwest, 111 Street,
Well, Northwest is not Biscayne Park.
north.
Northeast,
East.
northeast,
Are they, okay.
northeast. You gotta change your glasses.
So one more time, with the north, 103,
190, was it?
San Sebastian's.
903 dash 905.
okay.
Property.
It does say northwest, but it is.
Observations.
The survey, they did it wrong.
The
Yeah.
survey, the survey.
Yeah, they did,
gives- is
you did
northwest.
read, you got good glasses. My bad. They did say northwest, but it is on Northeast 9th Avenue.
Okay. Okay.
So that's,
What's the question about? Oh, it's a big corner lot.
how do you figure what the front is?
The main entrance.
It's the one facing 111th Street. And that's what your address is.
Okay. Okay, so
So
the wider part.
That one, yeah, the wider part, correct. That lot, and one was here, and it looks like that's how they're already, right? I don't know what the front looks like. This would be your lot, too.
Yes.
It's possible that change or no, because we have 2 other properties like that, and they told us that they may change. They may force us to use one instead of the existing one. Is
I
that
mean,
possible in Biscayne Park?
I mean,
No,
if you have an existing address,
Yes.
that's technically what delineates the front door.
because it's probably, right now, they are duplex.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different code? No, should be the same, no? The duplex main
The
entrance
address of the duplex is the front.
is the front on the longest street, yeah.
It's not always the longest, it's whatever the street, so if you're blah,
Ah.
blah, blah, northeast 111th, your
Okay,
entry is 111th, not.
and
on a
it's
private.
something that we cannot change and you don't change. the ci-
Well,
no, or
I don't know
the-
what the process would be to have your address change with the,
No, they,
in-
I
in
don't know,
property appraisal, but
Well, we wouldn't want to change it based on what you
no,
just told us right now.
no,
yeah, you want your entry on the long side.
That's
yes,
Yeah, we don't want to have to walk into a narrow house like this.
exactly,
Right, we'd rather walk in this way and then let the distance street, which would make more sense.
Okay,
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 that was it then.
that was the question?
That was it?
yes,
Okay.
on that one.
Did you guys want to keep one of these for record?
No.
No, okay.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
I guess it don't matter whether I show up together with you or not, but I like to check it. Thanks.
Have a good one.
All right, they're also here for 6S, which is the 12010 Northeast 11th Place. It's for the one that we just discussed. This is for a temporary construction fence.
The podium.
Property.
Is there a demo plant permit too?
No, not yet.
Just the fence.
Because the demo plans will be, I guess, when you approve the whole house. It's this same house that
Okay.
we're talking about.
All right, so we have a construction fence all the way around. It,
Yeah. One question, in that case, because the main purpose to put the fence, you remember, is because the house was pretty ugly, the look on the front. From the previous owner, we have a violation of you remember that case, the appearance? We had two violations in the house.
Violations go to a different, board. The code violation. we don't
Exactly.
know- Yeah, we don't know what happens over there.
Because that code was the one that they suggest us to put the perimeter fence.
Oh.
But you say the whole property. They say
That's what you're showing here.
because there is an existing fence now, wooden fence, but they just suggest us, so we don't spend more money on painting the house, to put a construction fence, even the construction fence is not yet approved. That's
I
what
mean-
they told us to do that. The violation code
So,
department.
so what you're saying is that on one or two of the sides, there's already a wooden fence, and that what you're wanna
Exactly,
do is
put
close in the remaining side.
Exactly. That is okay for you?
no.
No,
No.
because
Because
we're
here's the
not
thing,
gonna have a
because
construction.
Because here's the thing, our construction code says if you're asking for a construction fence, then you have to do a fence on all four sides. You have to control, you have to have there's rules about it. So
Yes,
what you're asking there is you're just saying, oh, okay, I just want to put something around the front yard. And is that, would that really be considered a construction fence? But then it falls into a,
yeah, because that was just the code suggests us. But we are not gonna start the construction maybe for how long? 3 more months, whenever the city approve everything. So they say in the meantime to they call that, so that's why we put the permit for the construction fence, whatever you suggest. If not, I offer them, we just make a power wash in the front so it doesn't look that ugly. And they say, no, don't.
And so we can just motion to approve if they fence in the whole thing.
they have to fence in the entire thing.
So
We do the entire, we
Entire.
keep it for whenever the construction is ready.
So
Okay.
motion to approve, 6S as fencing in the entire.
Perimeter, okay.
Second.
Okay. David and Scarlett, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And motion carries. Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have another discussion item. He's here. 7B, 885 Northeast 111th Street, Brickell Key Estates for a gate.
No, you can just hang.
7, there's no backup here, no? Okay.
Yes,
All right, hello, sir.
yes, good morning. It's regarding, I have a gate in my backyard.
Okay.
My wife basically, when we bought the house, like in 2020, it had an old fence gate that was there before, the
Okay.
same size, but being in a hurry to get the house and move in, she bought a gate and it's above the regulations. And I got a violation for it because I didn't know, it's when I got it, I figured out that I had a violation.
Okay,
It was out of the code. And I was wondering if I could lower it to the 6 feet that it was. But they're telling me something also that it's too wide, but it's the size that this has always been since we purchased the house, the gate that was there previously.
so I think you're a corner lot or something. 'cause
Yes,
I've seen you
exactly.
Before, you've been here, but I think you,
I've been here many
Okay.
times for the house.
Okay.
Yes.
No, so I think the issue is the height, which if you lowered it to 6 feet, then that's the maximum height for a fence. Because a gate is a fence. So if you have a fence and it's a gate, and it's allowed where a fence is allowed to go, then you're allowed to have it. The question that I would have for you would be, where is it located on your property? Because a 6-foot fence it can be no closer than 7 feet to your property line.
It is, I give from the street itself, I should have more than,
But it's not
About
the
8
street, it's
feet.
not your street, it's the property
no,
line.
no, when I say from the street, from the end of the street to where the gate is.
Yeah.
It's the same distance that it has always been. with the hedges and everything. It's even a little bit behind the hedges. And it's from the street, I would say maybe 10 feet, if not more.
Okay, so,
So I don't know exactly on the property line, but what I'll say is that where that gate, because it's the side gate that you're talking
Yeah,
about,
this-
the double swinging.
Yeah,
door.
exactly.
That where the people that had the house before him, they had a fence that ran in the exact same depth that where this is. So I don't, that fence might have been non-compliant.
that's the
as
thing, the
well,
fence before
but-
might have been a, not conforming exactly what
Yeah,
David said.
but it's in the exact same line. That's what that other depth was, and I would say it's probably more than 8 feet off.
Again, to be what Gage is trying to get at, you can have a fence there, right? But the height of the fence
Yes,
is dictated
by the distance,
by
from what I,
distance
re-
from the property line, not from the street, but from the
Okay.
property line,
yes,
right? So you'd have to first of all get a survey or
I have this, I
have one
have,
because you're doing construction.
I think I had seen the survey the other day,
We
the property
didn't, we
survey.
have nothing in our,
Oh, okay, okay.
and then if you want a 6-foot gate, right,
Mhm.
it needs to be 7-foot setback from your property line.
Okay,
So you're the right of way plus another 7 feet
okay.
to 6 foot.
But-
Otherwise, if you want to be closer, it's what is it, Gage, a 4-foot fence at 5-foot setback or something?
Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. So there's actually, I'm sorry, so it's on here twice, so it's actually 6F, I'm sorry.
I have two, there's two gates that they told me about. There's one I have in the front of the house that they say that it's facing northeast 111th,
Okay,
which it's not, it's inside the property.
okay, so if you're looking at, so I'm looking at, let me read it in. We're looking at 6F 885 Northeast 111th Street. For this is actually a permit for a gate installation. So is this the gate on the 9th Avenue side? So this is what the application for is for. Okay, okay, so 12 foot, 6 foot high, okay. So,
Now it's more than 6 foot, but I reduced it to the 6 feet. That should be.
okay, so I'm looking at your survey and it says iron gate 13 foot 1 inches, it looks like, or something. It says iron gate.
The post that's on the outside
Okay.
with that.
So, but it's right on the property line. So that's the issue, is that the gate, you could have a 6-foot gate, but it has to be 7 feet in from that current location, from that property line, which means if you have a 30-foot, 30.25 setback on your house, it's going to be 23 feet, 22 and 3/4 feet out from your house. So where it's located, if it's right on the property line, then it would be not allowable at 3 feet, not allowable at 5 feet, or not allowable at 6 feet. So,
The problem is that the entire, from the front right corner of the front driveway, going all the way down that expanse and then all the way down to the end is all bush that's very nice and like fully mature, and somehow none of it's dead. And it's all at, what would you say, probably 8 feet, 9 feet high. So the problem is that if he sets it back if he rips it out of the ground, sets it back 6 feet, he's gonna then have to have something else that basically bridges the gap from that,
more hedge.
Yeah, okay. I mean, this is the problem. People have, right now, that fence that when you bought the home, that fence is illegal, essentially, non-conforming. Right? If you were to build that today, you wouldn't be allowed to build a fence the way you have it.
Had
The
it.
moment any part of it comes down and you want to redo it, gotta come into code. So now it has to be set back. This gate you want to do has to be set back 7 feet from where the fence is today.
unless you made it only 3 feet high.
And it'd have to be 3 feet back.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Oh, it'd be
actually-
4 feet. So which would be 4 feet and
exact
3
same
feet.
Conversation with another owner, and they basically, what they had to do was rebuild all of the fence until they could get to a building line to secure, their whole pool deck issue, but.
But is there a gate? Is there an actual fence besides the gate? Or is it just a hedge?
That's a fence that's incorporated inside that edge for the past 30 years from what I heard.
Yeah, the survey shows it, there's a fence.
Okay, I'm just asking. I mean, because all you see is greenery. You don't know if, and he's got a pool, so, you got to make sure there is actually a fence there, so.
The portion that then is on 111th Street is not legal either, like, all the part that goes in front of your house.
The hedge.
No, not the hedge, you can do it at the fence, right? So you've got,
that's based on 111. It's not really a fence, it's something to keep the, you know, when you just plant, they put a carpet and things like that, for it not to fall over. That's why it's there. It's something, I removed it basically. Most of it's already removed. It's the green little tiny things just to support.
Can I just ask? The whole thing, your surveyor didn't do you any favors then, right? Because
He's showing
your
all of it, right?
surveyor is, he's calling it all the same thing, wire fence, right? So for the survey, it's showing like you have a fence all the way across the front, which would not be permitted. And then that same fence is going all the way down the side on the property line, which would not be permitted.
Right here, from here to there, it's been for the past 30 years.
No, I get it.
No.
It's non-conforming, but yeah, it might be there,
Yes.
but it's not allowed to be there. If you take any part of it down, you can't put it back there.
Well, if you take more than 50%, I mean, if he left it there and didn't touch it, it's in good condition, it can continue.
Not the predicament he's in now.
But the predicament is the gate. He put in a gate. He went in and changed the gate, which is 13 feet of that,
I understand.
at 172 feet.
Out here,
Yeah.
this part here that you're saying, your survey calls wire fence, but you're saying that's not a fence?
It's this tall, just for when we put the cruise, we have
Okay.
put the.
So where does the actual fence start then? Fence like a real fence?
The real fence starts from here, right here. to the back.
Okay, but then how is your pool?
How's your pool protected?
You don't have a fence. Fence doesn't actually return back to the house, close it off.
That's why, when we had none, I put the decorative door right here, which is this one, if you look right here.
Yeah, no, I understand, but,
And this is closed right
yeah,
here.
okay, there you have a gate. But here you have whatever, a
Hedges,
decorative
all of
gate.
this is
Yeah, but again, the hedge doesn't count as a pool enclosure. So at some point, this really needs to be gated, fenced off here. So that you actually have a real pool enclosure. Hedge might be nice and a deterrent, it doesn't really count in the code.
What can I put here?
Here, you're allowed to put a fence, and matter of fact, Gage is better at explaining it than I am. You can actually put a fence out this particular max dimension.
I don't want to put it in here.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't, because it's gonna.
Yeah, just
Like,
interrupt
like,
your
my
front
whole thing
yard.
About this, the house, basically, when I bought it, I left the whole front to keep the, how do you call that, the front of the area, the visiting part, that old still, and the back, which I added on, I made it more modern.
So yeah, I'm not saying you have to want to come out here, but somewhere you have to actually cross this area and connect to that fence to actually enclose. Yeah, but again, you're gonna get into a dilemma, because you come to a permit, and we're gonna say that fence that you're building here, stop here. Okay, it's the dilemma, some other homeowner, next same situation. And then you have a gap, and we're gonna say, well, you can't build in that gap, well, what do I do? Technically, what you do is build a new fence at the setback. I
3 feet in,
hear that.
3 feet in, 4 feet.
Conundrum.
So much space to the, of this, I call it setback from the street.
Swell.
The swell, it's more than everybody on my side has, more than exaggerated. than that.
Just looking at your own survey, all I can tell you is that
This is the problem.
How did you get past permit? How did you close the permit on the pool without a fence around it?
When I have the gate in the front, because I have a small, there was a small fence right there.
was a fence.
There was a fence. There was a fence, but the fence was in bad condition. The pole are still there, there was there, exactly.
Is that the one on the west side of the house you're talking about?
He's indicating one on
The west side.
like that.
Okay.
Going from the house.
There's like little hash marks right there.
Where you see
Yeah,
it
well,
says
it's where the
30,
dimensions,
32,
yeah, the
22.
dimension line, saying there used to be a fence.
There used to be a fence, that
More or
was
less.
still, the post is still there. It's just that the fence was in bad condition.
Not that you're, the hash lines you're looking at are on the inside of the. lot.
Inside lot, yeah, the west side of the house.
Essentially, mirror that, sounds like you used to have a gate fence on the street side
Okay.
that kind of cut off between the front yard and back. I don't know if it's- You can put a fence here, but again, it has to stop short. of property.
No.
I think we can't say yes, that it's not allowed.
So, yeah, it becomes, you have to, you don't, you, right now you have a pool with no barrier around it, which is a, big liability. So. Well, I think it was there and maybe it was taken down after the pool was, the permit for the pool was closed. So the pool's not even, the permit's not even closed on the pool yet? Okay.
When you go to try to close your pool permit,
That's what's.
yeah, but the inspector may say you can't give you final because you don't have the proper barriers.
So,
Give a variance to put that fence back, the one that was there. Back to the-
I mean, you have every right to ask for a variance.
I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna have to tear that all. street.
Well, you just put it on the inside of the hedge. You don't have to move your hedge, you just put that fence on the inside of your hedge. Leave the hedge on the property line.
The fence, the fence facing between.
Well, I mean, so if you want to do 4 feet, you can be 3 feet back. So I don't know how wide these calusias are. I mean, are they really
So
thick?
You can
No,
do
it's
a
not.
four.
It's, they're actually, they're a lot narrower than Lucia. They're like maybe.
But you don't have to go 7 feet back. You can do a 4-foot fence.
So what I would do. I'll
At
just
3
put
feet.
what I would ask for the big gate I have, I'll just put, how do you call that? Let some more photo carpets in the front of it. And let it go up. So I can, because it's not gonna, the thing is that my property, where the pool is, the property, it goes down. So it's above, basically already in the streets.
The really easy thing that you do in order to do this is just drill holes and put the little safety fence around the pool. You'll close your permit if you do that. Because you'll have, if a kid wanders into the yard, and you have that up around the pool, then they can't fall into the pool. You don't need to fence in the whole.
I don't know if that's really the way the code works. I think that
It's been kind of like a urban myth or something that's been spread.
that little. pool
When I went
fence-
to the code compliance meeting, that's what they were telling that house that's been completed and never moved into on, just off of 10th that had like the half empty pool forever that they were screaming at, and they told the guy like, hey, put up a little fence around there. and
Yeah,
put
but
it
I don't
down."
trust that code knows. So again, there's 2 parts of the code, the DOH code. One is that little pool fence around the pool is about your own, like, children. So you can either have that little fence or you can have alarm chimes on all your materials. That covers your own, but then separate from that, there's a requirement for a barrier, your property and outside of your property.
Yeah, I don't know where
So
that,
I
because
don't
I'm
think,
looking at
uh,
swimming pool requirements right now, and it says a perimeter fence must be constructed of blocked wood, PVC, metal, or 2-inch chain link fence. Doesn't say anything about a temporary screen.
Different parts of the,
Yeah.
I think there are 2 different components to the code. One is the perimeter fence, so separating your property and another, and then within your property, you can choose the little baby fence or the chime.
Or the alarms on the doors, yeah.
But anyways, back to you, which is what you're here for.
So for the gate. I have to basically remove it and put it 6 feet. towards the
Eh,
inside.
6 feet back,
If you want to.
7 feet, 7 feet.
Is it possible that I just put more crucials in front of it and leave the gate there for now and leave the crucials to go? The photo copies to go? So like that, when it's already covered, I just remove the gate?
Well, right now you have a non-permitted gate, that's been fined. So if you were to leave it in place, you probably would continue to accrue accrue fines on it because you're continuing it. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, so I'm just trying to talk this out. So I'm saying if you were just to leave it and plant a hedge in front of it, you would still be under violation. You'd be still subject to fines. We are gonna vote on this application, so you would be, if this application fails, you would be denied by the planning board. You could remove the hedge and put a Clusia, fill it in with Clusia, and you eliminate the issue altogether. But then you're gonna fall back onto, then now you're trying to close out your pool permit, and they're gonna say, well, where's your fence around your entire perimeter? So,
Can I just read? This is their solution. This is what you have to do, right? Basically, this fence is fine on the rear, the fence on here is fine, right? Really, this fence is illegal. You need to close off the pool. Your choice is to basically build a 4-foot fence set back 3 feet. So you won't have this big gap between your podocarpus and the fence. You only have to set your fence 3 feet, which is probably the width of your podocarpus. So this can be 3-foot setback at 4 feet high. You don't have to go 6 feet. Right? And then you have to add a little bit of fence here, basically fully close off the backyard. Unfortunately, that's what you need to do.
If the pole, the pole is still there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the fence itself that we just removed.
Yeah,
Can
so
I
reinstall.
just re-put the fence where it was connected because the pole is.
No, I'm saying,
It may be a building, no, we're not.
no, what he's saying, he's asking a zoning question, though. He's saying, can I just put that little fence back and take it all the way to the property line?
asking if you can use same
No, but he's saying, can I take it to the property line? Can I just put it back the way it was?
Oh,
And go to the property line?
No.
And we're saying we wouldn't be able to approve that because that last 3 feet, you can't have, you can't have a gate there. So if you came to us, you would be doing this, and we'd say that's the max you can do, but now you're not.
but what is the fence behind there? Is it a little tiny 2-foot thing, or is it an actual fence behind it?
That's it.
Yeah, it's in the hedges, yeah. So it's like a 4-foot chain link fence? So,
What he's asking is, can I reinstall the chain link fence that I had on the side of the house, but take it out to meet the chain link fence that's in the hedge? We had the same homeowner that had the exact same dilemma, and we didn't let them go that last 3 foot of fence perpendicular to the property.
yeah. The question is, okay, yeah, that, yeah. I was just thinking, like, if he took the gate out and just filled it back in with chain link fence, would that, just fill it in and eliminate the gate completely and just fence it in, that 13 feet of 100 and whatever feet it is. But that doesn't solve the other problem, which is going across the front. No, I mean, you got a point, because you can't go up to the property line. There's gonna be a 3-foot gap there.
This is literally the situation that other.
And you realize that he went right up to 3 feet and there's a gap there.
Yeah, and he still has a gap.
He still has a gap.
He doesn't have an open pool permit. So. Yeah, I got.
I mean, the best solution would be to build a 4-foot fence out to 3 feet and go all the way across and just invest in a new fence on the inside of your porticarpus. 3 feet in. And go all the way across. And that way you're legally you're containing your pool and you're staying within our code. That would be the only logical way to go forward, I guess, on our part.
Does he have the ability to, is that the type of thing that he could even apply for a variance if he wanted to? Because I know there are some things that you can't apply for a variance.
Just roofs. Yeah, so you could, right? If you want to go that route and go back to and really what you'd be getting a variance for
3 feet.
is that 3 foot of, if you'd say, hey, guys, commissioners, I want to put a fence in here to secure my pool code doesn't let me come out this extra 3 feet to meet the existing fence, can you give me a variance for that 3 feet? You know, it's worth a
Then
try.
you're trying to compel them of like, look how nice this stuff is, I'm doing everything that I can.
Just say safety, 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 babies drowning in my pools, and they get behind any variance that people say it's a safety issue.
And then eliminate the gate, because I don't see how they,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, I'm talking about a variance just for that to add a new fence perpendicular to the house and to the street. And the variance for that extra 3 feet to connect to the fence that we already got, which is non-conforming, but it's already there. Don't take it down and then be able to put it back, but that's just, we're just talking about this. Gate here,
How about if I put it, the fence, the chain link fence, to the distance and I plant a tree?
it's just, again, it's just gotta be a, landscaping or trees don't count as barriers for the pool. That's- So,
And how would I do
Where-
that to see if I can get that variance?
obviously,
Well, we would motion to deny this. so that
Well,
we can-
he'd have to apply for it. I don't think, that's not what he was applying. The application today is for the gate.
so just to come back to your original purpose for being here, right? So the gate here is also a variance. I don't know that they would, I think they'll give you and divine what they would do because, you know, but it seems reasonable to me if you went to them and said, oh, I want to put a fence in here. I just want a variance for that 3 feet to connect to the existing. I think they work with you. I don't know, could be wrong. But then this gate here that you also want, they may say, well, you don't need. Get rid of your gate.
The gate, really, I have it, because it's just like the gate that's in this house right there. It was there, it's not to park or to bring anything, it's basically if I have a child. So if they have a party, the truck comes with,
I hear
we
you.
put the things in, and I left it exactly at the same place that it was, like not too far. from the
My
house.
personal opinion, if I were in your shoes, I'd go for the, I'd take a shot. But a fee involved with
I
it
would,
and
I would do
whatever,
that as well.
but I would go because I feel like they're gonna say, oh, come on, this guy's had a, they have more like latitude than we do, right? We have the code. So I know Dave's over here shifting his seat, like, this is so annoying, tell the guy you can have it, but you can't, right? Because our hands are tied. But their hands are not tied, and they're gonna say, why is this guy here? Give him the 3
The other
feet.
part too
put the
is
gate
that
in,
all
be
of the
done.
bushes and all that stuff all looks very nice. If like, we're supposed to be a pretty nice neighborhood and all that type of stuff, so if it's like, hey, guys, if I had to do this, then I'm probably gonna have to rip all this stuff down.
Well, no, you could put it, you could put it behind it.
Oh, but technically,
I mean, my-
if we're reading strict here, we have to say you have to remove that fence not, is not flying. And then he'd say, oh, but in the process, I'm tearing down all the hedge to get that fence that's.
I would be threatening in there like, yeah, I'm gonna have to rip all this stuff out.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, he's got a 143-foot wide backyard. I mean, so a variance saying I can't set the fence back 3 feet, you know, because I don't want to, it's like, where's the hardship there? I mean,
Multiply,
it's not like it's one of these people that are like on a corner lot. Oh, I know I know exactly what you're saying.
hey,
Oh.
also what you just said, that you just meant that I lost 420 square feet out of my backyard by moving in 3 feet on 100.
420 square feet, you're not entitled to if you want a fence. But anyways.
It's not like, yeah.
Uh,
The threshold,
If I'm a commissioner, I'm gonna tell you, no, put a new fence 3 feet back, tough, you know, but my.
there's no like special, it's not even like there's a special circumstance, like there's a big oak tree there that he can't do it on the it's like literally, it's just.
I hear you and.
So the thing is you're gonna, if you do a variance request, you have to come back to us and then we have to vote based on the code.
Okay, but
Okay.
we passed all of this stuff that said, hey, you need to do a better job of making sure that everybody's fences are pretty, right? We just passed that. And so he tried to make a piece of crap gate look prettier, and because he switched the piece of crap gate, then afterwards he finds out when he gets a code violation that he now has to redo the entire thing because he didn't realize by switching it that the existing one was non-conforming.
Well, yes, you're saying that is correct, but you know, he didn't just improve the existing gate. He tore it down and got a new gate that's 8 foot high. So that's
Yeah,
a
that
big hole in your story right there.
No, but that part.
But the thing about it is on the flip side, he's got a permit that's open on a pool, and it seems like the permit that's open on the pool is because the backyard is not secured. So there's a flip to both sides there. It's not like.
We don't know if so yes, totally wrong on the size of gate, which he's totally willing to change it to whatever size he needs to make it, right?
Yeah.
But the other part too is We have no idea if that existing gate had fallen over or something and his 1-year-old's wandering down the street. So he's sitting there saying, I need to close this as quickly as I can. Oh, this one's available Costco today. It's 8 feet high. All right, cool. I don't know that part of the process. So I would apply, same as what he's saying, I would apply for a variance and. look
But
at
there,
it,
but
decide if
I think Ed's saying it in a way that, you know, you take your risk with the commission. I don't think he's saying it in a way of like, what you're.
I don't support it. So
I-
to Gage's point, when you come back, right, with your variance request, we're gonna vote to recommend, not recommend, right? I can tell you, I will not recommend it for approval because I think what you need to do is build a new fence. Gage is probably gonna do the same. Dave is probably gonna vote to support it. So you're gonna get a mixed bag from us. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the commissioners do what they want, whether we recommend it or not. They don't like to think they care, but you know, who knows? So they're gonna have the final call. What I'm saying is I think you probably get approved by them. I wouldn't recommend it. Gage may not, but I think, you know, I would personally, if I were in your spot, take a shot. There's some fee involved, right, that you could lose. I'm just saying, mentioning the caveats there.
Just that, when I was building the pool, when I was doing everything, the fence was already, the posts are still there, everything's still there. I just.
The same wood post is, are they holding up, the wood post is still holding up the new metal gate?
Yeah, it's a metal chain link fence, but it's been there forever.
But the fence, I'm talking about the gate. Okay, so we're talking about the fence, okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing, basically. The posts are still there, I just removed the fence because it was, how do you call that? It was old and it was brittle, so I don't want any kids to go and they cut their hands on it or anything, I just removed it for the moment. I was gonna re-put the same thing, but I was just gonna put it in black. So it looks nicer, it looks more proper, you know?
Again, it's up to you. You can go for a variance. There are rules, right?
It's just, you know,
Supply for us for a permit. so
it's
that-
just frustrating because on the same street at the corner of, by the golf course, the guy has a corner lot. He wanted to do something for his thing and he actually came in and put the fence behind his Calusia at 3 feet. You know, he did everything that was within the rules, but you know, he's got a really tiny yard, but he did it because that's what's required. And now we're recommending somebody
I'm
with
not-
a huge yard try and get a variance.
But to understand that when you go to the commissioners, right, the variance is not just like, yeah, no problem. Like they want you to demonstrate something unique about your property, right, that demands that you be allowed to do what you're asking to do. And to Gage's point, what's unique about it? Nothing. I mean, except that you had a fence there before, and so I want to keep it. That's not a unique circumstance, right? So you have to also demonstrate that you can't enjoy your property at all, but they don't let you have that 3. They may say, what are you talking about? You can enjoy your property.
143 feet.
So it's no slam dunk, right? They may just say, no, we don't accept it. Put the fence where it needs to be, set back 3 feet, 4 foot high, and get on with it, right? But
Just because, just trying to keep the things nice.
Yeah.
We need a motion.
So I do have a motion for the gate, which is, I believe that's what this was application for, 6F. Is for were you applying for a 6 foot? You were willing to apply for a 6 foot gate? Okay, so,
keep it on the property.
but at the property line?
Yeah.
Okay. Scarlett, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion carries 4-0.
I don't know if David said.
I,
Okay. All right, so now he's also here for a discussion item, so.
You know, if you were really in support of it, I want to make sure if you weren't, you were able to say so.
All right, so now this is also, now we're back to 7B, which is 885 Northeast 111th Street. So this is for a gate. Okay, so now this is to do with the front yard, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, okay,
He is a different agent?
but, so he has a gate that is just sideways.
Can you just show that?
Of his yard. For some reason, problem for us, because it was too tall, and they lowered it.
all right, so you have a pedestrian gate, okay? So the question is first of all, it was done without a permit. So there's no permit, I don't believe, right? So that's why it was caught. Okay, so we do allow pedestrian gates in the park. And I believe they have to be 6 feet high and no Pedestrian gates located in the front yard shall not exceed a height of 6 feet and shall not exceed a width of 5 feet.
What he has, so he's good to go.
So is the pergola part of the gate?
Pergola.
There's a pergola across the top of it.
What is
Is
that?
it, and is it above?
On the gate or is that in the background?
No, that's above it, it's just a design, so you can have the ramps go over.
So is that above 6 feet?
No, I can't. I don't. How is that? If I were to, yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding what's going on there. You're drawing the front of the gate.
Yeah.
Draw the side of the gate. Yeah, draw the gate from the side. No, from the narrow side. The gates, the post on the end is 4 inches, right? So this is the side, right? Those pergola things, how are they on top?
You know what it looks like? It looks like the.
Oh,
like
so
a
they're very
Jap-
short.
Yeah, it looks like a Japanese arch. Like it's just 2 posts and then like
So
a thing that goes.
the thing on top is just.
Well, it goes across the top of the gate. It's like.
Yeah, but I'm asking how
No, it's
how
actually-
long? So they're like an 8 inches or a foot.
Yeah, it looks like a Japanese.
Gotcha. So the 6 feet height that you're saying that gate is taken to the top of those things or to the gate? Yeah, so technically it's part of the gate, right? It's just like the design of your gate has these little things on the top, these little fins.
These things on the top,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, if it's 6 feet there, I would not be able to walk in.
Oh, because when the gate opens, they're fixed above.
It's a pergola over the gate.
And
It's
I-
not
It didn't-
actually,
it didn't
part-
open, it was
it's
like-
not actually part of the gate.
Yeah,
It's,
that's what I thought it was.
like, for-
What's holding them?
posts that support. the
Because that bar here is fixed and the gate stops here.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. The picture's a little hard to read. And your 6 foot is to here. Yeah,
No,
so
this is-
6 foot is to where though? To the bottom of the bar? So that top bar that goes over is above 6 feet. Those little pergola things are all way up there.
Yeah, yes. They're about 6'4", 6'4".
Is this actually an agenda item?
It's a discussion, so.
Well, should he be applying for a pergola?
Well, if he's got a violation for it, then he should be applying for.
But you have a pergola in your front yard?
No, the violation would be you're allowed to have a pedestrian gate in the park. It's the size. And I mean, I don't particularly consider the pergola part of the gate, a pedestrian gate. And I guess if as long as it's below 6 feet tall and you crouch under it to go into your house, I guess, we could, the rules could be expanded to try and say that it's part of the gate structure.
I mean, it physically, like, it's a part of the aluminum structure of the gate, like, attached to the top of the bar that's.
As long as it's not above 6 feet tall,
Feet is a
as
problem.
long as it's not over 6 feet tall.
I think it's fine. To the top.
And as long as it's not more than 5 feet wide, from one side to the other.
And you just pop off the part that goes like that. Have to be close.
The thing is that, the thing, gate, to be able to hold, you have to have both things.
No, I mean.
Well, if it's cemented into the ground,
Your post has footings that it's holding it in the ground. Yeah, so you don't need the top crossbar. Hi. It looks fine, but it can't be taller than 6 feet is the issue, so.
Is it about 6 feet from a certain distance, just like a?
No, that's just straight up 5 foot wide, 6 feet tall,
pedestrian gate.
doesn't like, not incrementally taller if you set it front to back.
And apply for a permit for the rest.
Yeah, here's the thing, big picture. You come here for permits for everything you do, you find out before you build it, these little rules. Who said, yeah, go do it without a permit? But they might have said you are, but they might have said you are allowed, they might have said, yes, you are allowed to have that thing. That doesn't mean go build it without a permit.
Everything I do basically, I always ask for permit. This one, they told me, yes, you can put it in there. I'm like, I can just put it there, I guess. I'm like, okay.
Oh, they gave you bad advice.
Yeah.
That's even how I knew about I put it like 3 feet underground, 4,000 PSI concrete, make sure that's sturdy and everything from the right
Who
place.
told you that?
But they told me the city when I had passed.
They literally gave you like
Do it without a permit.
how to build it, what size footing, what size.
They told me everything. And they even told me like for the rear gate, they're like, we can leave it there as a property right because it should be basically grandfathered in, that's why I learned about grandfathered in.
There's no,
Grandfathered in, because it had. a gate
Which
already.
if you.
if it was the existing gate and it was still there, it would be considered part of the grandfathered part. Because it's existing, but once you made it new, it had to become, it has to go into our code.
Think, so, and I'm not trying to speculate on code stuff, I think that he might have gotten advice from somebody that used to come to our meetings here, that the gate part that swings had to be under 6 feet,
That's exactly what.
and it could be higher. The guy that's in code compliance, used to come to these.
Oh.
That's exactly
So-
what that happened.
So the actual physical structure of the gate is 8 feet or
Swinging
6 feet.
part, that the swinging part had to be under.
Not
6.
helping.
So they, again, unfortunately, they give you bad advice, and if you'd gotten the permit, you would have been told by us, this is what you can or cannot do before you build it. So lesson learned, get permits for anything you build in the future.
Which you have been. I mean, you did this entire addition with permits and you did a great job of the driveway, everything. I remember you came in everything. So, but I'm not gonna get the permit for that, so.
It would be like, I'll come get permits for everything. Absolutely, that would get permits.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is he bought 8, he wants 1.
Anyway, so I think we've explained the 6 foot high, 5 foot wide pedestrian gate. I would apply for a permit for it. And hopefully maybe figure out, either have a dimension that thing is not above 6 feet high, the trellis, or remove it. And if it is, then you're gonna only have like, hobbits coming to your house, so.
Or you just pop off the top parts, then rip out the whole thing if it gets too long.
If you've got, what you say, 3,000 PSI, 3 foot by 3 foot footing, that post is gonna be fine.
Not going anywhere.
I don't know what size footing you put there, but.
No, I put good, trust me. I go a little bit overboard. But
Again, if something involves pouring a concrete footing, you probably need a permit. Like a rule of thumb.
that's what I would imagine. That's why I did everything with code, like I went and asked, I even came sometimes to the meetings without having anything to ask questions.
Alrighty.
Thank you, sir.
So, for my violation, they told me to see you guys, that's what I'm here. Yeah, but the violation. To ask for, extension or something like that, so they don't find me.
So you will have to reach out to them and see if you're on the meeting for Wednesday about an extension from the code board.
So we denied the gate, so they're gonna come back to you and say, well, you got denied, so what are you gonna do about it? When that's where you would say, I'm gonna remove it and fill it in or whatever, and then you're gonna go for variance for the other part that's not, you didn't even apply for the part that he's that we spoke to you about, you're not even applying for that. So you have to apply for that still too, and then and it'll come back here and we'll review it again.
What they like to see usually is that you have an
That you're-
application with a permit process number and you're working on solving the issue. So when you go on Wednesday and you're like, well, I met with them, but I haven't actually applied for a permit, I don't know.
Well, he did actually, and we denied it.
No, for the
For the
pedestrian.
pergola, that's a different thing, or the front gate,
Pergola, for
front
the
gate.
front gate. Anyways, we don't control what code does, but you can tell them that you met with us on Monday and now you're working through your options.
You met with us, we gave you the rules, and then you can now apply for it. You're planning to apply, and we're here 2 weeks from now.
When 2 weeks, I'll see you guys.
So, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, do we have the minutes?
Cold in here today.
It is.
All right, so we have the minutes from the meeting of July 22nd, 2024. Thanks, sir. Have a good one. Got a lot of done, a lot of approvals.
We did all of them in the first 15 minutes. I looked at, I was like, wow, it's 7:45. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, we're not that.
I wasn't at the last.
Whatever, what's going on with that gate variance? Is it, do they have a meeting scheduled for that yet?
That house sold today.
Which one?
That house.
Oh, the other gate? Okay. I'm talking about the variance that came in front of us that we recommended not to approve. We don't have a date yet for the commission?
What was that? You're talking about 1195 Griffin?
No, I'm talking about the gate, the pedestrian gate, the other pedestrian gate that's around the corner from this gentleman that he put up that was 8 feet tall too. They must have know each other and gotten a deal on 8-foot gates or something.
Oh, the guy that didn't want
The
to.
French, the guy,
Move it because his walkway was too wide.
his walkway's too wide. He wanted to put
Was
this.
that a variance?
Yeah, he asked, that was a variance application last time.
Got it. So he,
Did they come back?
so.
No,
put in this
okay.
kind of concrete walkway from the front door to, typical like, straight, whatever. 8 feet wide or whatever. So he gave it, and I was saying with him, like, hey, what's your hardship? Concrete walkway. It's hard, like it was.
The walkway you put in. Mhm.
The guy that, it's the guy that is
French.
almost on 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take a motion. The minutes look good. I didn't see.
To approve the minutes?
Second.
Okay, Ed Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries. Okay, next is going to be 5A, 590 Northeast 119th Street, concrete approach, Danielle Alvarez.
Yeah. I know, and everything. That's a good meeting. Mark. Good. Well, we're done.
All right, what are we doing?
We're on 5A, old business. 10% and is they're only doing an approach, concrete driveway details. So this is the one that we questioned because I think it looks like it's brick and they wanted to put a concrete approach. But we questioned the two different materials, I think, the last time. So I think we might have tabled it.
Yeah, I think we probably tabled it.
Hold on, 590. Deny it. It doesn't look like they added any additional information here.
Oh, I just resubmitted it.
It does say, their application does say that they're doing pavers, the new approach in pavers.
Let's just see if we have anything.
First page.
But then it's the thing still is clicked off for concrete driveway.
Maybe they meant concrete pavers.
Well, this is signed and dated July 23rd, 24. Do you remember what date you guys tabled it?
Well, our last meeting was July 22nd, so this has to be the newest one. It does new approach in pavers.
Oh,
So if we make a motion to approve as long as it matches the existing pavers,
yeah, so motion to approve as long as it matches existing favors.
Second.
okay. David Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
That's sleuthing stuff.
All right, next is going to be 590 Northeast 119th Street, aluminum railing, Alvarez,
What's the, oh, 6A.
6A.
Alpha.
See, it's the acoustics on this end.
You don't hear, okay, you can't hear what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think, did you say 6A or no?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that you just read the number.
No, because I've had to ask David like 5 times what number it was.
Installation of aluminum handrail.
EC return.
They just have some steps, they wanna put a railing, I guess. Safety. Oh, it's the same person.
That's it. Motion to approve?
Well,
Right there.
I mean, it's. How far out is it going? I mean, because technically it can be,
Needs to have 4,000 PSI,
it can become a walk, a fence in the front yard.
Geriatrics are gonna rise up against.
I mean, it does, as long as it doesn't,
I feel like it's just for the stair, I mean, they're calling it a handrail.
a motion for the stairs only
Yeah,
then?
based off where they put the little fence.
A motion to approve contingent upon it being for the stairs only, not the walkway.
Second.
Okay, and David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay. All right, next is gonna be 6C for everybody on the bingo table here. 740 Northeast 120th Street, Aluminum Fence Improvement Development LLC.
Property.
Okay, so this is that new construction house that we approved that now they want to put a fence in the front yard. Because technically, remember, that is the front yard that's facing the neighbor. So I'm wondering if this is like the person that bought it from the developer. We did.
I remember telling them, hey, go talk to your neighbor, just pay for them to file an application for a fence that would be their side yard.
But like right now, this is the front of the house. There's
I get it.
10 foot .80 and 10.95 or something like that.
Saying if the guy who lives right in front of that portion, he wanted to put a fence, we wouldn't stop him because it's the side of his house. So I was
But-
telling this owner, go make a deal with that guy.
Well, maybe.
But isn't this, this is the one that the next door neighbors, it's right up against her front window? On the left side? Yeah, but I'm just saying, remember, this is that house that,
They got the variance.
for the lots coverage and all that. So as it's drawn now,
Which is odd because we've had this application before, we've had this conversation.
but I'm just wondering if this is now the person that bought it from the developer, that they're now coming back to try and get a fence.
Motion to deny.
Second.
Okay, Ed, Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye,
This is a different,
denied.
that developer's last name is Whalen.
That's what happened.
Okay, fence cannot be in the
Right,
front.
so, but motion to deny, but then what we'd say is to apply not for the front yard, but to speak to the neighbor about.
Well, that's not us to make those.
But then the
motions.
person's gonna come.
That's for them to figure out on their own. We don't, we don't tell people the things like that.
Going back to the farm.
Huh? Well, that's them, that's up to them to go and make their, whatever.
It's up to them to show up next week and say, why'd you deny me? Oh, here's.
We don't allow fences in the front yard, so. It's just their front yard happens to face their neighbors to the west. By the way, go by there and look at that. Look at the driveway they put in. I happened to go by this just because one day I was like, oh, let me go look out and see how this house came out. It came out really cute. But the driveway goes straight out. It almost goes into the side of the neighbor's driveway that goes in.
But they came to us for a permit for that driveway.
Yeah, but it was supposed to curve to the street a little bit, so. Anyway, okay. Next is 6D, 777 Northeast on 11th Street, roof repair, cool.
Second.
Okay, Ed Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Okay. Wow, we have a big agenda. So next is 6G, 940 Northeast 117th Street, pool and deck remodel, Thomas Hamblin. lot coverage is at 61. 3861, so it looks like they're fine. I understand what they're doing.
Be finishing the pool, I'm not sure what the deck part they're doing. It's already a deck. Concrete.
That pool 10 feet, that pool line 10 feet from the back line.
It looks like it's 8'8" plus 4, 12. And then the other one, it's like smack dab in the middle. It's a different pool. You look at page, what is this, page 3? The location of on page 3 does not really match the survey on the last page, the survey.
That's what I would say. I was looking at that.
I mean, the location either on the survey or in the page 3, it's it's fine with us, but I'm just saying, it looks different. To me, it looks like a new pool.
Maybe it's just a brand new pool because it even has that like chamfered corner now with the steps. So maybe they're just spending the money to rip out a pool and put in a new one.
And even if you look at sheet number 6, it shows that there's a slope towards the back property line at 8'8" slope. So, okay.
Approve.
Second.
David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, next is going to be 6H, 955 Northeast 118th Street, driveway. Oh, Sanders, sure. Heard or seen him in a while. Why does it,
They're just like getting rid of the circular driveway they have now.
but look at the permit. It says 955 Northeast 118th Street, 955. So it says Sanders, sure, but the permit application says owner's info, Stephanie Fernandez.
It does say Sandra and Stephanie. Sure.
Oh, okay. So it might be Stephanie Fernandez. Okay. Okay. Good point. 300. Okay, so here's the situation. We need to have like total lot coverage here. Because the thing is that what's missing on this survey is they put a pool in. I mean, Sander used to be on this board. He went for a variance and got like an addition on the back of the house. He got a pool put in. This survey is a representative of his total lot coverage. What is this driveway made out of? I'd like to table it for more information, like total lot coverage. Is the survey the most current with all of the items on the property?
2020.
Well, it says that the 93% pervious. And the structure alone, one part of the driveway is 1,000. we don't have anywhere what the, I mean, we have the total front yard, we don't have the total.
I mean, he got a variance for a pool in that back corner, if I remember correctly. There was an entire thing with the back, like a back covered area that went up to closer.
Motion to table?
Motion to
More info?
Or correct lot or driveway and.
And an updated survey.
Okay. Scarlett, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Next would be 6I1010 Northeast 115th Street, flat re-roof. Fog is the name. So the application says, hold on, am I missing something? 6I1010 Northeast 115th Street, flat re-roof. And then when I open it, it says, the permit says olive installation of wood fence.
So yeah, I have the same thing. 6J also says flat re-roof, so it's possible that maybe the flat re-roof part carried over. But it's the wrong name.
Wrong address.
And the address is 11767 Northeast. Well, let me just scroll down.
That is 6Q.
Yeah.
That's 6Q. Let's see what's in 6Q. So this is also, so I guess if you guys want to pull up at your end, the packet for 6I, if it's different, then we
6I.
can vote on telling us that it's correct because flat re-roof really doesn't.
So can you pull up 1010 Northeast 115th Street?
And then while we're doing that, you want to look at.
Let's go to the next one, 6J1015 Northeast on 19th Street. Flat re-roof. This is Belkey's Diaz. New roofing flat master. The flat roof. It's the
White. Motion to approve.
okay.
Second.
Okay, David Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. So 6J1015 Northeast 119th Street is approved. We'll keep going on as she's looking that up. So 6M11018 Northeast 8th Avenue, solar system. What is this one? Okay. This is a flat roof house, I think. So it's all just sitting on top of the flat. 1010 East 8th Avenue.
Yeah, because they're at 0% pitch. So
Okay. Okay.
motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, David Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay. You have anything for that? 1010.
Are we on 6Q?
6P actually, 11643 Northeast 11th Place, impact windows and doors. Okay. This is one of those two-story duplexes over by Loving Place. Yep. All right. Window A is horizontal rollers, which are all the ones that face the front. There's a nice little picture on it. Window G, these are on the side. Window Gs are
And window C is horizontal.
Casement.
The last front facing one. So, motion to approve.
okay, David Scarlett. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next is 6Q, which I believe we discovered was, let's see if 6Q comes up. 6Q. Yeah, okay. So 6Q is actually for Oliva, which is the installation of wood fence, 6 foot high,
It's just on the back.
across the back. Okay, David Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. That is the agenda. So 6I, going back to that, it looks like what's been submitted is incorrect or something?
No, it's just.
So it's for a flat roof. So if it's just, if you have a document of a flat roof and the product approval, I can eyeball it. I see yep. Hold on. Yep. The flat roof in the back. So I'm back on 6I 1010 Northeast 115th Street. So she's showing me the product approval. It is a flat roof. It's just for a flat roof in the back. It's everything. It's just that for what was uploaded in our file was not correct. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Charlotte? Second. David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion carries. All right, so we've all the discussion.
I have a question.
Sure.
Just a general administrative stuff. Is there anywhere that we as planning and zoning, like kind of log thoughts and comments for whenever it is that the commission next wants us to go through and tinker with like building code? Like the last one that I was here, which I know was a couple ago, we realized that there was a piece of slightly confusing language in like one little section that we were like, oh, what the hell? Like when we sent it up, it went up in a way that made sense, but now the way that it's in and approved in code doesn't make sense. Do we have anywhere as like our little group that's where we log or track that stuff? Because I don't mind creating like a master Excel sheet or something like
If
that.
you want to keep track of stuff, and then we can, when, I have a feeling that Commissioner Kennedy is going to make another run towards zoning. He saw the stuff that came out of Miami Shores, and I think he's been inspired to try and out at the McMansion Part 2, I think.
Thanks, Scarlett.
So I got that impression. I don't know if that's for a fact, but from what I understand, that was going to be brought up. So maybe if we have a list of things that we have, yeah, let's
Yeah, I have
do
to
it.
go back to look at it, but I remember distinctly like all read something or like, wait a second, that doesn't read the way that it was supposed to.
Well, if you're talking about the new code, Gage already talked to the staff and the attorneys there.
Oh, okay.
No, there was something to do with the metal roofs that you guys agreed on. I disagreed on the way it was written. Something the way it's under the re-roofing of metal or shingle. So
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, that was that.
But I think he's also referring to the
that's already taken care of.
foot setback, he's also referring to the fact that in the big update to the code, that read like your second story could be at the lot line.
Yeah.
Rather than the setback. Yeah.
That's already been.
I was like, oh, this is.
So that Gage talked to Howard.
Yeah, so they took care of it. They realized they had a Scribner's error, and they actually were able to change it, and the mayor signed off on it, so that's all been corrected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like one thing that I was thinking about is specifically that house that is kind of near your house, maybe it's 1 or 2 blocks behind it, that has been under construction since before I bought my place in 2017. And I think that they're just playing the game of like, hey, you need to have some permit looked at or closed every 6 months, and as long as you do that, the master stays open, or there's some.
The one on 118th
I think so.
by 11th
But-
place?
Yeah, that's just like moved along at the slowest pace humanly possible.
Yeah.
And like, we're starting to have a bunch of construction and everything like that, so my only thought was like, whenever they're next going to tell us to do stuff, to look at what could be done to kind of try and tighten up the timelines of, hey, you need to keep getting permits closed on the tail end of these things. So you can't build it 80% of the way, wait until you have a buyer. So
I mean, we have a bunch of houses here that are sitting with, that are done, but they have fences around them. And I guess it must be at a point in the development where they're
They're-
finishing it for some reason because they're just sitting there with the two houses on 8.
Yeah, all,
Houses on 8 just have fences and they haven't moved in months.
Cause everything that they do, what they do is that at they end all the FF&E, the fixtures, finishing, whatever, equipment, they wanna give credits to the buyer, so like, they don't wanna finish that. So now they're all just gonna sit there and
They're all
probably
up
get a
until they're
seller
sold.
or a buyer. And like, I feel like we need to start to address that at a certain point.
Oh, that's permits. How often they expire, what you do. I may be wrong, but I think something's governed by that.
Cause I had somebody explain that house that's kind of near yours. I'm like, how is it that that this one house has possibly been under construction? for 7 years?
Well, it's been under massive fines and everything. And honestly, the rumor that I heard and, is that they just don't have the money to finish it.
Which I think is
There's literally no money to finish the job.
also a lot of reasons, right? Everyone, starts a project, think they can finish it, and then of course they run out of money halfway through, and then they're waiting for
From what I understand, there's like,
faith or.
amount of money to put into it to finish it would be more than what they could actually sell it for. So that house is completely upside down, what I've heard. So, yeah.
What I'd be interested in is having an ordinance that if you especially now that you can demo without having a new construction permit, that
Is this correct?
demo, you have to sod and move your fence. You can't have a fence up indefinitely while you're deciding what you want to do. Bay Harbor has that ordinance. If you do demo, you have to sod the lot, take away your fence and maintain it. Not just sod it, but take care of it. And then when you get new construction, fine, you put a construction fence up and you do work, but you don't just have a fence like the one here on Sixth Avenue.
The one on
fence
Fifth Avenue,
or However, or Fifth Avenue.
guy that was here.
I think that's something I would raise to Mac to push for.
Well, that house is completely, I wonder why the fence is still sitting there. Why has it not been?
Well, if.
No, I'm talking about empty lots that do. I'm saying that now that we allow people to do demolition without requiring them to have a new construction permit, right? Because the Florida state, whatever changed, that fine, we have to allow them to do that, but when you complete your demo, you have to sod the lot and remove your construction fence and maintain that lot until you're ready to start construction. Then you can put a construction fence up, do new construction, but not have a fenced empty lot for six.
That's what I was trying to worry about with this one.
Yeah, you got it a little bit tonight, but there's nothing that mandates they have to take their fence down and clean it up. It should be.
Well, technically, if it's a construction fence, the construction is the demo. Once the demo permit is closed, the fence is supposed to come back.
It should, but there are
Lot.
lots that have been,
So, Gage, you might take point with Mac on finding out, hey, is that within the next 6 months, within the next 12 months, and then I don't mind recording some of this stuff so that when we start to go through the brainstorming and commenting process. Because you really want to make sure that we have driveway gates, right? So, those sections as well.
Well, considering we just went through 3 years of getting the current code that just passed last August, I'm not really on board of all of a sudden starting to, looking at, the code again.
Oh, that's why I was wondering, like, because
Motion to adjourn at, 8:54. Oh, by the way, so,
Oh, yeah, I out of town